Welcome, everybody, to the YTWPodcast, puns added in post. I'm your host, Jonathan. With me this week are my co-hosts, Jess of port-haven.com.
Hello.
We've got Tom from Tom Like a Fox Productions.
Hello.
And we've got Fiona of the Space Bear Twitch and YouTube channels.
Hello.
So, Fiona, how was your week?
Yeah, it was good. I've started a new job, so every day I'm bombarded with a whole load of new information, so I'm currently exhausted all the time. I've read a really good book this week. It's like a self-help kind of thing, but it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And it's been really good, actually. It's all about, the premise is that you have a limited amount of fucks to give in life, so watch how you spend them. And it just talks about, everything is under your control and... only value things that are under your control, because otherwise you can't change them, and kind of look where your values are, and don't ultimately stop giving a fuck about things that don't matter. So it's really good, actually.
That's
I ran out of them long time ago. I needed that book 10 years ago, I tell you.
I was lucky to be born with a weird brain problem, so I've never really given any.
You just weren't born with them.
A severe fuck deficiency.
Yeah. Now,
There's no pills
too
for
bad
that,
we can't put curses in the name of the podcast.
Let's call it SFD.
This is why I asked before if I could swear.
No, we definitely can swear. I just wish I could call the podcast a severe fuck deficiency. That's so good. All right. So what, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of job did you start?
Product management. So I'm looking after a mobile website for a retailer. Big department store in the UK. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to work for a company that people have heard of. There are lots of perks. Fine. Since I've started a job, I'm so exhausted all the time that I get back on Sunday I had cheer. And the buses were late back, so I wasn't really in the mood. And then tonight the trains were shit, so I wasn't really in the mood. But I mean, Fridays are still fine because I've got a bit longer afterwards, and I have to get up and go to work the next day. So yeah, plus with cheerleading and stuff as well, it's hard to fit it in. And I've got a big competition coming up soon.
Ooh,
yeah.
You should just live stream that.
Yeah, I'll vlog that for you.
IRL stream.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you blog that, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Cheer's a badass sport. I've got mad respect for cheerleading.
Yeah, I'm on 2 different teams. And the competition goes on all day, and somehow my 2 teams are 12 minutes apart. So I'm not particularly happy about that, because it makes
it's going to be a very tired space fair.
So you competing for 2 different teams in the same competition?
Yeah. So because there's different levels. So our program has different level teams within it. So I'm on 2 of them.
Gotcha.
And
so there's no conflict really.
No, it's just the fact that I'm still going to be out of breath probably when I do the second routine,
right?
And also I'm going to miss the warm up for the second team. So
I don't feel like you're going to need a warm up.
Yeah, I think you're going to be all right.
Yeah. I'll be warm. It's just the rest of my group are
nice and toasty.
Yeah. Yeah, I do get off afterwards, just feeling like I need someone to cover me in water, just hose me down.
Just submerge you, carry you away in a tub.
Yeah.
So, Jess, how was your week?
My week was great. We published the second video interview we've done for the channel this week. So my last video interview was with an author named Kevin Scott, who wrote it's called the Adventures in Wild Space series, which actually started in the UK. You darn UK people can read the last book, and I can't read it until May, and I'm really mad about it. But he co-writes the series with a guy named Tom Huddleston, not to be confused with Tom, probably Huddlestone. I don't know. He's a footballer in the UK, and not to be confused with Tom Hiddleston, which he regularly gets confused for both of them on Twitter.
That would be quite a big billing if you had got him.
Right? Yeah, it would. It would have been really great.
But also slightly confusing for a Star Wars podcast.
Star Wars channel, yeah. But we actually talk about the name confusion he gets. But he was great to talk to. He writes. He used to do film reviews for a magazine called Time Out. and he also has his own like band and stuff. So he was really cool because we got to talk about a whole bunch of different topics. Star Wars Rebels in the U.S. has wrapped up. I don't even know if the second half of the final season has started airing in the U.K., so we've had to be real nice to all of our friends on Twitter to not completely spoil it. But that's been great in that I had a really good uptick on the channel, but bad, and now that it's done, I have to like actually come up with content again, which has been a little bit of a problem this week. But overall, I'm really excited. We're getting closer and closer to Solo, so it's good times around Port Haven.
Don't you think it's dumb that in our society today of like globalization and the internet and like the world is tiny now, in respect that we still have like big gaps between TV shows airing in one country to another?
Oh, I think it's ridiculous.
It's just, it makes no sense whatsoever.
It just it drives people to piracy is what it does.
Well, yeah, because you don't want it to be ruined.
Yeah. It's absurd, and it's funny because the two authors I've interviewed, their books not directly but tie into Star Wars Rebels. It has some of the same characters later on in the series, and I want to, tweet to these authors and say like, how do you feel about the end of Rebels and how it got blah 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 with the stuff you guys have written? But they're both UK authors. And they haven't seen Rebels yet, and I can't ask them what they thought of the end of Rebels, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating, yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No, in non-Star Wars news that I do occasionally have, I've started playing Wolf Among Us, which is my first Telltale game, and it has been super fun. I'm in the 3rd episode of 5, so I don't know everything yet, but at the same time, I'm like into the meat of the game right now. I've been really enjoying it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of Telltale's better games too.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Yeah, up there with like the first season of
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead and what's the other one everybody liked? Borderlands.
I really want to play other Telltales, and I've been told that just because like I've never played a Borderlands game and I've never watched Walking Dead, but I've been told I could still enjoy the Telltales.
I can tell you for sure the Walking Dead standalone.
Okay.
Like,
So
I've watched maybe a season of the show and read none of the comics.
Okay.
So if you played the game and then watched the TV show, it wouldn't ruin it?
No. The only thing is in the game you learn... Well, no, I guess not. It'll like the first events... The only events that in the first season that cross over into the show are like... I forget the Asian guy's name, the character.
Yeah.
But he's with your group for a short time in the first season. Glenn,
yes.
So you get, but that happens before the show, so it doesn't matter. Also, the ending of that is one of the most like heart-wrenching things you'll ever see.
I've heard that.
It's so good.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Sweet. So Tom, how was your week, man?
My week has been like balls to the wall fantastic so far.
Awesome.
From a content perspective. IRL's been a bit rubbish. I've had sick kids all week long and
gross.
And they have to take time off school, which then impacts on the time I get home alone. Blah blah blah. But other than that, like Twitch and like the gaming side of things is absolutely fantastic right now. Decided to jump back into playing some Crossout this week, which I haven't played much for a couple of months. I had a random comment on a Crossout video on my YouTube channel from one of the guys. One of the bigger YouTubers who plays it, and I thought it was weird. I know Mr. G, who's part of the Wolfpack, plays with him, and I had this random comment, and then like 10 minutes later, I had a message from Mr. G in Discord saying like, "Come and join this Discord with these Crossout guys," and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of nice, but I haven't done Crossout for a while."
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of got me thinking. So basically, I started the process rolling of I streamed Crossout again this week for the first time in months.
Mm-hmm.
And tied in with that, I actually applied for partnership with them. So I applied for a promotional account with them. Because one of the things that kind of put me off playing Crossout was the fact it was quite grindy.
Oh
right.
Boy, is it.
And when you're trying to make videos or streaming, grind is not good. Like
No.
I don't mind grinding a game like off camera, but I don't have time to do that off camera.
Right.
But today I was absolutely thrilled to have my application for a promotional account approved.
Woo!
And not only was it approved, but they have like a tiered system, and the size of my Twitch channel qualified me for the lowest tier, but I've actually been given like the ultimate top tier promotional account.
Oh,
I
wow.
saw that.
So I have like 10 of every single legendary item in the
Dude,
game.
I don't even think Games has that.
Yeah. I was like, and I have the special account that they give to the top YouTubers where in Crossout you can fuse items.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And make them better, so you consume like 3 of an item and make a better version.
Right.
Well, when you log out and log back into the game, they replenish it for you.
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's like unlimited fusion of your parts and all that stuff, and it's just
Oh,
it's gonna
man.
make it so good because I can trawl through the exhibition on the game and find really awesome builds that other people have done, and I can just import them and build them myself now because I've got all the parts for it, whereas I didn't have that before.
That's so sick.
And
That's
then,
crazy.
as a result of like diving back into Crossout and being part of this new server, my Crossout stream was like off the hook. It was absolutely amazing. I had all these awesome guys. I had like moderators from their game servers in the chat. I had like big YouTubers
That's
in the chat.
awesome.
There was so much hype. I had people who were like, I should have gone to bed like 3 hours ago, but I can't stop watching. Like those kind of comments in the chat all night long.
That's great.
It was
Oh,
rocking,
man.
and it just made me feel so good. It's like I haven't had a stream that good in a while, and it just gives you that so much motivation just to like, oh, I've got to keep doing this more and more.
Right?
So
Oh, that's great.
I'm on cloud 9 at the minute, guys. So
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
that was the highlights of my week, really.
As for myself, just been keeping up with the grind. Didn't really do anything interesting other than shovel snow.
Is that not just half your life in Canada, though?
Yeah. Well, this is the third nor'easter we've had this winter, which is significantly above average.
Oh, yeah, we've been covering those at work, but I'm not in those.
No. Although one of them went all the way down to the Midwest for some reason. That was crazy.
Yeah, but still...
That one was called a false hurricane at first.
Yeah, weirdly enough, even though my state is known for its crazy weather, we've been really, like, boring weather-wise.
Well, you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
It's been actually pretty, like, up and down, because we've had a lot of days above zero that we normally don't have, but also been getting slam-jammed with snow.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a strange weather season, as opposed to other kinds of season, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, strange weather is normal where I'm from.
Yeah. We're not a whole lot different than Ontario, right?
No,
we
not
had our
really.
week of snow.
I know, you guys had real winter.
Well, 3 inches.
Yeah. That was
Okay,
enough to
you
grind
had-
the country to a
And
halt.
the country stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing all that stuff. This is like...
Yeah. I left work at 2:30 on a Friday, and I still couldn't get home on my normal route because the trains were cancelled.
Trains were cancelled?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
And it's
Yeah,
literally
it's like when it frosts in Florida.
smallest
Yeah,
little
yeah.
flurry of snow.
The saddest one I've ever heard is Victoria, BC in Canada, where they don't usually get winter. They might get a dusting once a year.
Yeah.
There was no snow there. It just went down to -15 one day, which is very, very
Whoa.
cold for there. And that's like medium cold where I am. But that
Yeah.
shut down the whole city. No snow,
Just the cold.
just cold. Just the cold. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
man.
sometimes during that week where it did snow, the real feel on the temperature said that it was like -12, which is
Yeah.
ridiculously cold. For London especially, because London's got its
Yeah,
nice
for
little
sure.
blanket of pollution keeping it warm.
I know you got a big old greenhouse
Yeah.
going on.
I'm just going to sit here in my Fahrenheit and pretend I know what temperature you're talking about.
Like-
There's I have no idea. It's coldish.
Oh wait, -15 is like... Oh, shite.
Hold on, Celsius. I'm sure isn't there a calculation you can do?
Hey,
There
Siri,
is, but it's really complicated and stupid.
It's like it's
I
like
like
times
Google.
what
something.
is 15 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
15 degrees Celsius is 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
Minus
Oh, I need a
15.
negative.
Minus.
Yeah,
It's
see, I
5.
did that too.
What is
5, yeah.
minus 15 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did exactly the same thing where I did it as though there was no minus
There's
in my
minus,
brain because
yeah.
I'm a smart man.
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been nearly that cold here, but it did hit that cold in January.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird thing is it's supposed to be that cold here, and it didn't for most days.
Well, I
Global woman.
I have the problem of, because I work at night, I never look at the highs for the day on the weather anyway. I go to work in the lows, so it's like,
Fair.
So do you go to work like all like extra toasty, bundled up in scarves and jumpers
yeah.
and coats and leggings
Yeah.
and
especially the days I have to clean off the satellite dishes.
oh my god.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I work at a local television station, and part of my job is when it snows and snow has accumulated on the satellite dishes, I have to take a push broom that's taller than Shaquille O'Neal and go and sweep like 12 satellite dishes and take all the snow off, otherwise we lose our signal.
And don't forget, you can get Shaquille O'Neal to DJ your own party if you go become like the
Oh,
ultimate
Jesus
Kickstarter for Shaq Fu.
I wish we had the pull to make that happen.
That'd be
Right?
so cool.
I wish I could get Shaquille O'Neal to sweep my satellite dishes.
Yeah, you pay him to a party, but it's like, no, the party is you sweeping satellite dishes.
If you've got the money, you can get anyone to do anything.
It's funny because you're right about that, Fiona. Right? You can pay anyone to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see those things on Facebook, like, would you do such and such for $1 million?
Yeah. It's like,
The other day, I saw the most retarded one ever, which was, would you punch your brother or sister in the face for $1 million?
do that for
Well,
a tenner.
Of course I would. I've done it for nothing in the
Yeah.
past.
God, I remember I went like kicked my sister in the stomach. Though I was really angry and I
Ah.
threw a hairbrush at her.
Yeah, my sister would just give me a whooping back.
Yeah, mine too.
She's like
Yeah.
the same height as me. She's a big lady.
She doesn't listen to this, does she? Or you might be
No,
in for
but she
another
also
whooping.
she would also be the first to tell you that.
Yeah. I had a couple weeks back. My brother and I basically had a WWE match just in the living room. Like, we were
Jesus.
just pushing each other into couches. Pretty good.
My sister is about the same height as me, but she's really slim.
Implying you're not slim.
No, I'm like average.
Right.
I don't even know where I was going with that.
mean-
I was gonna say I meant to talk about my sister. She last summer my sister decided to go around Europe traveling, and she's one of these people where she's really really book smart. Like she got a first in her degree. She's like generally really intelligent, but in life she's so dumb.
I know
dumb.
the type. Yeah.
Like she got lost in our hometown when she was drunk. Keep in mind, this is a town of like 20,000 people that she's lived for her entire life. She went the wrong way on one road, ended up in a farm, and called my mum crying at 2:00 in the morning. My mum had to go out in her pajamas and find her. So she travelled around Europe last summer. So I spent the entire month like sort of on the edge of my seat, worried that something was going to go wrong.
Right.
And she made it back in one piece. And my mum texted me yesterday saying that she's just bought tickets to go to India. So that's what I've got coming up this summer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard India's nice,
Yeah. I'm sure
especially
it is.
in the summer.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's
right?
yeah.
It is the summer destination.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Yeah.
going. Her ticket is for the 12th of August, so it is going to be hot.
What? It's
Yeah.
Like, it's like when somebody tells me they're going to go to Florida in August. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I like to cook.
I just whenever people mention India, I can't help but think of what Kudurpali said in Big Bang Theory, that it's rampant poverty and no one's ever had a solid bowel movement.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure she's totally prepared for like.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
going
what
around
I'm
Europe is
thinking
going to
of-
be so cushy compared to this.
Right.
And what I'm thinking about is when my university had a bunch of exchange students from India and Bangladesh and Pakistan, and you could spot the people who were like exchange students versus just like Indian
Right.
Canadians or whatever, because they were wearing sweater vests in June. That was cold for them.
Oh my gosh.
So she's in for a treat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to her discovery of like squat toilets and all that sort of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So
Oh, good stuff.
Anyway, time for the news. So our first story. Iron Man director Jon Favreau has signed on to make a live-action Star Wars series.
Woo woo!
So I imagine you have some thoughts on this, Jess.
I have a couple. So yeah, we knew that Star Wars was getting a live-action show for their streaming service since like November. We just didn't. We don't know any details. We still don't know any details on what it's going to be about. But getting Favreau involved is. I was pretty excited. So not a lot of people might know Jon Favreau did a voice in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He voiced a character by the name of Pre Vizsla, who's a part of the violent contingent of Mandalorians that are rising up against the pacifist contingent of Mandalorians, led by Obi-Wan's former girlfriend. So it's a pretty good set of episodes. And so he's kind of been floating around. He's going to do a voice in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So like, as much as I didn't know it was going to happen, I'm not particularly surprised because he's just been hanging out at Lucasfilm for quite a while. And tonally, I'm really excited for what he could do because I think the first two Iron Mans, because he did Iron Man 1 and 2, and he did Jungle Book, like that kind of tone I think could be really fun for a TV show. I feel like you want to be able to bounce around, especially with the TV series versus a movie. I don't really want like the dark and gritty HBO Star Wars TV show. He's also a doctor in Elf. Actually, he might have directed Elf too. Come to think of it, but I could be making that up.
Elf? You mean the Will Ferrell flick?
Yeah,
the Christmas movie.
I'm almost certain Will Ferrell directed that.
No, I don't think Will Ferrell did.
Really?
Googling. Who's got that intelligent phone that they can talk to about this?
I don't have any phone. My phone is on a charger.
Who directed Elf?
I'm on my computer. I'm going
Directed by Jon Favreau.
Favreau.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
So, tonally, I think this is good. And I mentioned this on the Port Haven Streamcast, which is our weekly live thing, that, a lot of people talk about how Marvel movies kind of make safe decisions or what have you. But I think a lot of people forget that when the first Iron Man movie came out, the one that started it all, how big of a moment it was when at the end of Iron Man, Tony Stark's like, I'm Iron Man, and he wasn't going to have an alter ego. That was big. Like, I remember that's what we all talked about, my friends and I, after we saw the film. It was just like the concept of seeing a superhero in a superhero movie that wasn't hiding his secret identity kind of changed. It was such a tonal difference. So I feel like with Favreau, he can be a guy that can make a movie or a TV series that feels safe, but also takes safe in new directions, if that makes sense. Where it's like, you're not watching something dark or cerebral or whatever. He knows how to make like fun popcorn, but also take fun and popcorn on a different kind of twist to the story.
He knows how to twist that popcorn, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
So I found out about this on Twitter. I basically saw like one of the Twitter moments that was a lot of criticism about them hiring another like white male.
Yeah.
And I think like, I don't know, it's difficult because you don't want them to hire someone who isn't a white male just for the sake of it. But at the same time, I'm sure there are a lot of people who they could have chosen.
Affirmative action directors.
Yeah,
Well,
it's difficult.
This is kind of how I've looked at it. I feel like in the case of Favreau, he's a guy that has connections to Lucasfilm. Like, he's appeared in Lucasfilm things. He's friends with people that are going on. I totally get the criticism. I would be totally down with seeing some female directors of Star Wars films. But with Favreau, in the same way that, they brought in Ron Howard to take up the slack on Solo, it's the case of them bringing in friends. I think it's a more apt criticism to say, why did they hire the Game of Thrones guys? Because they have no connection to Lucasfilm whatsoever. Yeah. So it's something where there's a time and a place for that criticism. And to the people that have a connection, like J.J. Abrams. Like, J.J. Abrams was the obvious choice in terms of style to make a Star Wars movie. You can't tell me that he's not somebody that would be on anyone's short list. So in some cases, it's unfortunate that I think we don't get a more diverse set of directors, but I think it's an effect of systemic problems. It's that there are less women or minorities that have had the chance to put themselves in the position to be obvious choices. But then there's other choices they've made along the way, like Lord and Miller, who got fired, and now the Game of Thrones guys, where they don't have any connection to the company, and they could have been choices. Yeah, why them then? And why at that point? So I totally get the criticism. I mean, I obviously I'm a white person talking here, so I can't really talk about minorities, but as a female, talking about female directors at least, I get the criticism, but I would rather it be targeted towards the choices that it's more relevant to, and I don't think Jon Favreau specifically is that person. But there are other people you could direct that towards, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible that it both be a valid criticism and this be a good director choice.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, if they had hired Michael Bay, then I'd be like, okay, guys, let's take a step back.
Okay, God, no. Please, Christ.
Let's take a step back and evaluate, why we're hiring who we're hiring. But they've been hiring talented people. You can't say that they've made poor choices, but they could make more diverse choices.
Can we just get Sam Jackson to direct a Star Wars film?
Oh,
I mean, I'd totally be fine.
Please.
Can we just... I've long wanted, a Sam Jackson project where it's you just put Sam Jackson in a room with all green screens and tell him to go. Don't give him a script. Just say, whatever you want, just describe it, and we'll fill it in later.
We'll fill in the background.
Yeah, and I think it would be the best movie. If I ever make it in Hollywood, that's the kind of art you can expect from me.
Yeah, you're a true auteur.
Yeah.
Yes. So our next story, almost unceremoniously, Monster Hunter World has become the best-selling game in Capcom's history. So, for context, Capcom has made the Resident Evil franchise, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Monster Hunter, obviously, in the past. It sold 4 to 5 million copies each game in history, and this one having sold so far in what's it been, about 5 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
It sold 7.5 million copies already.
So it's doing adequate, that's what you're saying.
And it's not even on PC yet.
Oh, man.
I honestly think that could double when it goes on PC.
Easily.
Well, if trends hold steady for other Capcom games, it's only going to be a small boost. RE7 only sold 500,000 copies on PC.
No, I think the...
I also think this might be an exception.
I think the multiplayer aspect of this and the party play aspect of this will give it a boost on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially with multiplayer, I think there are people who will buy it again on PC.
Yeah.
Well, I know Bare Naked Gaming's planning to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, as a bit of a gaming noob, I've got no idea what this game is about. I haven't played any of the previous ones. I've never even heard of it.
You hunt monsters in a world.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I can see where they got the title from.
But they're massive monsters that you have to engage. You have to engage in 20-minute long battles to hunt them and catch them.
Right, they're all every enemy is a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me out then.
I haven't played the game myself, but I've watched Bare Naked Gaming, Runaway Robot, and Couch Bum all play it.
Yeah, I saw Couch Bum played a little bit, and I saw that there was a cat, and that kind of piqued my interest.
Yeah, his companion character is a cat.
Yeah, your Palico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My problem is every time I swear, every time I turn on a Monster Hunter stream, it's always whatever monster it is that's like a walking volcano. Every time. Like,
Oh, that's the final boss thing, I think.
I've watched that battle like 10 times.
It reminds me of my dad whenever there's like a Harry Potter film, it's always the one with the spiders. He says, like, anytime he's like in someone's house or just flicks over the channel and there's a Harry Potter movie on, it's always the one where the spiders are on the screen. And he hates spiders as well, so just the universe is against him.
It's a bit like the reason why bonus stage Rob stays out of our Discord, because every time he opens it, someone's posted a pic of a spider.
Yeah, thanks for that the other day. You threw my phone across the office.
That's a lot of fun in the Discord. Always something.
We have a lot of fun in the Wolf Pack.
We try.
All right. So, anybody have anything else they want to add about Monhun?
Is Monhun an official name, or?
That's what their fans always call it.
Okay.
Just that I want it to hurry up on PC, please.
Yes, I'm very much in the same boat. We need to, like, group up and get wrecked together.
And also, I guess one thing we have to say about it is, okay, I've made my peace with the fact they're making me wait 6 months for it to come to PC. Make sure it's a bloody good port.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
My gosh.
All right, so our next story. This one actually pretty interesting, and not just because I'm Canadian. The NHL is hosting its first official esports championship over the next month, determining champions in the US, Canada, and Europe, which I guess is a country now, to compete for $100,000 in prizes at a Las Vegas esports event.
So
man.
Is the game like the official NHL?
Yeah,
NHL
NHL 19, I guess?
I don't know what
it's
it's called.
usually a year ahead.
All I know, the football
Is it 18?
game here is
Okay.
called FIFA. I don't know what any of the other sports games are called.
Well, it's just NHL.
Oh, okay.
NHL is
Most of
basically
them-
FIFA.
Most of them are just named after whatever the
league is.
the body is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is... I don't know. I've used to play a lot of NHL games, and I'm not sure how you make that an esport.
Well, how many? Is it a team thing? I take it you can have. No. Oh.
No.
It's individuals. You control the whole team.
It's individuals. That's why I don't get it.
Yeah.
I guess you could play just like your team against another team, and like... Yeah, I guess I can see how it would work. It just seems a little strange. Like you play whoever holds the puck, and then you pass, and then you control whoever you pass to. And
Are there other
nauseam.
esports leagues that are single player? Because most of the ones I've heard of are like multiplayer, like teams.
Most are
I mean,
multiplayer.
fighting games.
Yeah, I mean Hearthstone, like card.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
that's-
Magic,
yeah.
Hearthstone,
Yeah.
any fighting games. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this just seems a little bit half-hearted to me, to be honest.
So it's a little bit of a money grab.
It's almost like a sports group wants to get nerds interested in sports.
Yeah.
I think this is the NHL seeing an opportunity to branch out.
I think it's investment for the future. I don't think they're trying to make it
Yeah.
a serious
Those are nice
prospect
ways
now.
of saying get nerds interested in sports.
Or get sports interested in nerds.
I mean, just
Oh,
look
God.
at the prize pool. I mean, 100K in prize money for an esports tournament hosted by like one of the biggest sports leagues in the world.
You say
I
that,
don't know,
but,
is that a lot? Is that not? I've absolutely
it's
no
not
idea.
that much.
No,
That's how much like the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour.
But again, if it's for one person, you're not
as for
having to split
prizes.
it between a team.
yeah, but that's the pool. That's not the top prize.
No, the top
Oh.
prize will be like 40K
Oh,
or something.
okay.
I mean,
I thought that was the
and-
top prize. I see.
NBA 2K League has not far off $1 million as its prize pool.
Shit.
Oh wow.
You know, and
So
I mean
it's
that is
really
a
small.
team based. But yeah, I just think this is kind of half-hearted, and I think they're going to do
Okay.
something bigger with it in the future, maybe.
Maybe they're just
But
trying to
right
gauge
now, they're
interest.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get a foot in the door while esports is
Yep.
still relatively young.
I can see that.
Because I mean, I was reading an article the other day, and I can't remember who it was by, but it was interviewing the owner of a large esports organization, and he was it's one of those times where it's kind of someone telling you to give up on your dreams, but it was a guy saying, if you don't already have an esports org with money, then don't bother, because you're too late to the game. That people are starting to believe that esports is at the point now where the pro leagues are beginning.
Yeah, it's established, and the little guys aren't going to get much of a look in.
Any grassroots teams that come up now are forever going to be grassroots teams.
Just wait until you're playing esports, and it's like, then the loot crates come in.
Oh no. Competing for loot crates.
Oh god.
50,000 loot crates to the winner of this Dota championship. The loot crates contain food.
It's
I
the
don't know, I
future
might
of
go for
society.
that.
Like, this is our dystopian future.
Oh, I love dystopian. Tell me more.
In the future,
Dystopia.
everything's
my
decided
favorite
by
pudding.
loot crates. Everyone waits around for that chance where they get the magic loot crate that rises them out of poverty.
You don't, like, somewhere a YA author is going to listen to this, and a light bulb is just going to come on in the room. And 10 years from now, there's going to be a best-selling film franchise, and you're going to feel very, very silly.
Darn it. Darn you, YA author.
Damn you,
It's going to be
nameless.
It's going to be an inspiring novel about this established dystopian future, but one plucky teen is slightly different. Somehow they managed to take down the entire government, but obviously they finish the story then, so they don't have to actually continue with what actually happens.
And by then, it'll be so far in the future, there'll be like a love triangle.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be like between the cute boy and a cow.
Hang on a second.
Like, which one?
No, but it's a sentient cow. It's not weird.
Right.
Jess just made it weird.
Yep.
No, it's a sentient cow, though.
The YA authors have checked out. They're out.
No,
I
not
don't
all
care
of them.
if it's sentient or not. If it ain't the same species, it's wrong.
That's what you say now, Tom. But
Hey,
in
that
20
is
years,
speciesist,
you're
Tom.
gonna be the bigot in 20 years.
Is this...
When I marry a loot box, Tom, I expect you to accept it.
I'll be your best man. It's okay.
There's nothing more fulfilling than a loot box. You never know what's going to come out.
Oh my.
Our next story.
Moving on.
People from my channel come here and they're like, oh my gosh, Yoda Bauer.
All right, so our next story. After a 5-year hiatus, Valve is claiming that it's back to developing and shipping games.
Oh man.
So, Valve, famously behind Steam and just sitting back and raking in the money while other people design and release games, is planning a new game called Artifact, which I couldn't find a whole lot of details on. And Gabe Newell, one of the, I think, founders of Valve, came out and assured us that they are still working on games and are planning to start releasing them again soon.
What was the last game they did?
Dota 2,
Dota 2?
2013.
So does this mean Half-Life 3?
Oh no.
You beat me to it!
No!
You know what? I was
You didn't say it!
I was talking with Adam about this earlier, and he said, "Don't make that joke because it's going to be so overplayed." It's like, damn it!
You can
Here's the
just tell
thing.
him that Jess made it. And it'll
No,
be...
but here's the thing. Maybe she saved me, but Fiona cut me off as I was about to make it. And then just swooped in.
Competitive jokes, baby.
We're all competing for the same vapid, banal jokes.
So it seems like Valve have intentionally taken a hiatus from making the games, but they've been kind of working on a master plan in the background. Because it seems like
I would hope so.
They've been trying to get into a position where they can focus on hardware and game development simultaneously, which they couldn't do previously. So the success of Steam has obviously put them in a position where now they can actually do both at the same time.
Right.
This
not
game
sure.
Artifact, I feel a bit annoyed about because it's just a card game based on the Dota 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I think it's going to
So
be
it's not like it's
Hearthstone.
had loads of development.
I'm not sure. I mean,
Like I said, I couldn't find out a whole
It's probably
going
going
to
to be the same. I can imagine it being the same mechanics as Hearthstone, using the universe that Dota 2 exists in, which will make all the Dota 2 people really happy, and the rest of the world don't give a crap. But apparently they are working on more games. They've got 3 big VR titles in the works at the minute, and at least 1 fully fledged single player game.
Do you think that instead of loot crates, it'll be like, if you buy a game on Steam, you get more XP in your Valve games?
Wow, that would be the biggest dick move in gaming history.
That would be pretty mean, yeah.
Be pretty awesome.
But I wouldn't put it past anyone.
Until the Steam summer sale, and then, baby, we all level up.
Ah,
Didn't you miss me, John?
so much. Oh, God, I miss Nikita.
Hey, it could have been you and 3 girls this week.
I mean...
That was the plan.
Damn it, Tom.
What did I do?
Oh, Tommy Cockblock over here.
Ooh.
No, seriously, thank you for being able to make it with like 16 hours notice. That was incredible of you.
I'd just like to point out, okay, that Nikita said she couldn't be here for important stuff, but she's just published a video.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
Yeah, I did see that too.
explain
She's
yourself, Nikita.
I have to do politics, la-di-da-di-da. And then she's up publishing videos.
It's because she can't stop playing Monster Hunter World after the podcast with Rogan.
Got some
It looks like some
splaining
sort
to
of
do.
space game. Or is that... Oh, that could be Monster Hunter World. I can't even tell. It's a terrible thumbnail. She needs to get better thumbnails.
Yeah, Nikita, you need to get good.
Get her into Creation Corner.
What is this thumbnail game? I don't even know what's going on.
So, our next story, the Final Fantasy VII Remake appears to be still very much in early development. So this was announced, 2-3 years ago?
2015.
Yeah,
3
3 years ago.
Jesus.
The suspicion coming into 2018 is that it would be out next year, at least part 1.
Do you think they're going to wait for the next console generation?
I think they're going to have to.
They haven't even recruited yet.
They are hiring
really?
people to do, level design and character design and,
So what, they just made
world
that... 'cause
building.
they made, a trailer, right? There was, a little promo.
Yes, they made a
And
trailer
that's it.
that was
That's all they've
here's
done,
the
basically,
opening.
over 3 years.
Hey,
Here's what it sounds
that
like to me.
trailer took a lot of work.
I'm sure it did. I think what they did was they tried to outsource the project, and the studio they chose to do it, or the studio they chose to do it really bungled it up. Mm-hmm. So they had to bring it back in-house, and that meant hiring a whole new team.
Yeah. This is actually Adam's favourite game ever. So
It's up there for me.
there's a lot of pressure riding on this one.
It's 7 or 9 for me, but yeah.
He's got a
Right.
tattoo and everything. He's got
wow, cool.
He's got a tattoo of the logo, the meteor thing across his chest.
His chest?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's commitment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture.
Does he wax?
No, but he only ever has one chest hair. It's called Greg. So he comes back.
Yeah.
I can't wait to ask him how Greg is.
Yeah, we no one tell him, even though he'll
No?
probably listen to this.
No, he can't hear
we'll
me. He's engrossed in Just Cause 3 right now. He can't hear me.
That's great.
Just a little reminder, was Final Fantasy VII the one that had the stupid sports ball game in it?
Nope, that's 10, and I love
That's
it.
10, oh.
Oh, 10's probably my second favorite Final Fantasy game. I'm playing it right now on my channel again, believe it or not.
Nice.
And yeah, it's got Blitzball, which is underwater European handball.
Huh.
Ooh.
Crazy.
It's so dumb, I love it.
Which one is the one where you make toast?
Oh, 15.
Okay, that's all I know about Final Fantasy. Is there's one where you make toast. And
It's got a camping mechanic, and they have lovingly rendered food.
yeah, and doesn't it give you like buffs?
Yeah, the toast doesn't give you much. The toast is like, you don't have ingredients, but we can get bread.
Well, isn't one of the characters a chef? Like, that's his thing.
Yeah, his specialty is cooking,
Yeah.
and as he levels up, the buffs get better.
Okay.
I haven't played a Final Fantasy since 10.
12 is worth your time, and I'm really liking 15.
It looks they're a very kind of weird band of people. Sort of.
Yeah, it's like Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, but emo Backstreet Boys. Emo
Yeah.
Asian
I mean, it's
baby
supposed to-
boys.
I think it's based on Stand By Me. It's like a boys coming of age growing together sort of story.
Right, okay.
So, anyone out there who has a level design and Unreal Engine 4 skills and fancies earning nearly $3,000 a month, and if you can read Japanese, there'll be a link in the description down below.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is pretty disappointing to fans who've been looking forward to seeing what they do with the remake. There's been a lot of speculation, and it looks like it was all for nothing because they barely even got started.
They've literally just made that promo for hype, and that's it.
Like I said, they had to bring it back in-house, so I think the people they hired to make the game screwed up super hard.
You think they just did a
so
really
it's just
shit
like
job?
wasted
or-
time.
Yeah. There's probably some legal cases going in courts behind the scenes that we don't know about.
So our next story, not only is Undertale coming to Switch, which I guess is okay news, but the engine Undertale was made on, Game Maker Studio, is going to be on Switch as well.
So is this just
So-
so you're going to be able to create your own games using the Switch?
Yes.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, Game Maker's a very accessible sort of low... I don't want to say lo-fi, that's not quite fair, but kind of like an RPG Maker
Right.
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Also, Adam's just downloaded Unity and he's trying to learn how to use that.
Okay.
But I can't imagine you'd be able to, I don't know how you do it on a Switch because obviously the controls are very limited.
Yeah, that's what worries me, is the controls and how much functionality there's going to be.
Unless it's they're going to somehow turn the gamepad into a touchscreen to do it that way.
You might be able to interface it with
Keyboard. Like a
keyboard.
USB, USB keyboard, like tablets do.
But then why would you get it on there and not just on your computer?
I think the idea is that Game Maker games are going to be playable on the Switch because of this.
Oh,
Right, you
okay,
can
so it'd
make
be
your own
easy
Switch
to
games.
yeah.
You'd be able to develop a game for the Switch using Game Maker
So
Studio.
what's going to
Yeah.
happen is Steam is no longer going to be the only place to get really crappy asset flipped.
Yes.
But also the occasional really good
2.5D
game.
Well,
games.
I don't know how this type of thing works, but if you had that, would you be able to design a game for the Switch that could be moddable? Would it be a way to put mods on a console?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the capabilities are of that
No, I mean
program.
there are already mods on consoles, but I don't know how Nintendo feel about mods on consoles.
I mean, Nintendo are quite restrictive with their games anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, don't touch Nintendo content ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this actually goes towards something. I think it was actually Adam. Was it Adam who was on here when we talked about the Switch getting a broader catalog and how he was hoping it would be indie friendly?
I have no idea. I've listened. I swear I've listened to the episode he was on, but I'm
Might
not sure.
have been Runaway Robots.
You probably
I think it
just
was
tuned
one
out
of
at the
ones
part
I
where
was
you-
on.
Oh, maybe that was Runaway Robot.
One of the ones I was on. Because we talked about
Is that the one
Outlast.
with the thing where you make stuff out of cardboard?
Yeah.
No, the Labo? No, we weren't. It wasn't the Labo story.
We did briefly mention Labo, but no, because we were talking about.
No, he was
Outlast,
saying
weren't
that he
we?
was hoping this would be an easy console to make games for as an indie dev. And Game Maker Studio, as much as it might not have a great reputation, as Tom alluded to, does significantly increase its viability as an indie platform.
Right. And I think that's great, because I mean, I know a lot of people were disappointed when the Switch was launched for it not having enough games on release, which obviously has been fixed over time, but
Yeah, there really weren't many games at all when it was released,
but
especially
this
like
would,
indie games that you can download.
right. But this would be a chance to completely change that perception of there's not games for the Switch, because you would end up getting games that are basically Switch exclusives without being like big name exclusives.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it too. Like, I would love to see a game that really, really utilizes the console versus mobile platform. Like, I remember when iPhones and the like came out, and you had this portable touchscreen device, and how, with Nintendo, with Pokemon Go, that became such a big thing, and that was building on years of designing things specifically around like a smartphone. And to think of you could design a game that isn't simply the small screen version or the big screen version, but something that could really be fun and a different experience depending on if you're playing it on your couch versus if you're playing it handheld.
Does anyone here have a Switch?
No.
Nope.
Nope. Is anyone considering getting one?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, I am.
So Tom is the most qualified here.
What are you waiting for something in particular, or just until the price comes down?
Yeah, just money in my bank account.
Yeah.
No, it's something that will be a fun way to introduce my kids to gaming, because I don't let them go near my PC. Okay.
Right.
But I'd like to play games with them.
Yeah.
Plus, there are some games on there that I really want to play myself. I want to play Breath of the Wild. I want to play Mario Odyssey. And yeah, I just think it'd be fun. And I think I will get Labo for my kids. I mean, I think it's a bit of a scam, not a scam, but a bit of a gimmick. But I think there could be some family fun times in it. So
Yeah, well,
I played with a lot of gimmick toys growing up. Sometimes that's where your best memories are.
Anybody else have anything to add about Game Maker Studio on the Switch?
Nope.
All right. So our last story. In the wake of the smash hit movie Black Panther, small American town Wakanda, Illinois, is finding itself at the center of a very bizarre internet meme.
This is amazing.
Okay, so people have been not only making phone calls, but also editing the Wikipedia article and other information regarding this town to imply that it is also Wakanda in Africa.
Should I see what it says at the moment?
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I bet it's on super lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks okay at the moment.
I bet there's stuff hidden in there,
History.
though. That's the thing.
It just it does say originally spelled Wakanda, like in the thing, but that could have been there anyway.
Yeah, that could be
yeah,
true.
there's nothing that stands out.
Oh, that's disappointing. I was hoping we could find some fun little things.
Demographics.
Oh, wait, no, I think it's actually in events. I think that's a notable event for this town.
Yeah.
On January 28th... Oh, wait,
Events. No.
That's a snowball fight.
I gotta go to this town.
Yeah!
I could rule this place.
And every summer, the Chamber of Commerce holds a 2-day rodeo to raise funds for their other works.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm not sure
I wouldn't
what
have
that
expected
means,
that
but
from an
okay.
indigenous black
it
community.
might be the only town in the world that press from our little podcast actually means something to.
Right.
That's very true.
Maybe they'll play this in the town center.
Yeah, hell.
Yeah, it's mentioned
they're gonna
in
get
popular
John down there in
culture.
a few months' time, give him the key to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be a hero in Wakanda.
I wonder, let me see if you can still edit
They will
it
call
and
me
not
Fat
I
Panther.
just want to see you in one of those suits, dude.
Oh.
But yeah, here in
man.
2018, the village got numerous calls asking for T'Challa from the recent popular movie Black Panther,
Brilliant.
as Wakanda has the same name as the country.
That's amazing.
And yeah, I did see some screen caps of funny edits on their Wikipedia page, but unfortunately they've been reverted because people hate fun.
Yeah.
There was a list of notable people at one point that's no longer here at all.
Was he the only notable person? There weren't actually
No, there
any
were,
notable people.
I think somebody did Rule of 3 with it, so that was notable person, T'Challa, king.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Just to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. They put some thought into that.
Well, that's the weird thing, is this kind of... It became itself this meme around this small town no one had ever heard of before.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess that's notable for them. It's got to be the best thing since their big snowball fight in 2005.
They might get some tourism out of it.
Yeah. I say lean into
I
it.
mean, from anyone who
Right?
lives within a 20-mile radius, anyway.
I'd be on the phone with Kevin Feige right now being like, hey,
Yeah.
They're gonna be able to afford the good quality mustard at this year's rodeo.
ooh.
I'll see if they can wrangle Comic-Con Wakanda.
You know how many people would go to Comic-Con Wakanda just to
Yes.
Yeah, they could definitely
Yes, I do.
that.
Yeah. People are dumb. They would definitely do that.
I really want them to
think
put up a sign.
This whole story proves that people are dumb.
Yes. Don't call random people and ask for T'Challa. That's Come on.
I want them to put up like a statue and have it say like Wakanda forever, like put in their stuff.
Yeah, okay, that's really
Well, I
good.
see, like,
Change the...
These places have
Change the town
signs,
slogan.
right?
Yeah.
The town motto is now Wakanda forever.
Yeah, like these places have signs like "You're now entering Wakanda."
Yeah.
So someone could just go right on that.
All right, well, I think that might have been a podcast,
I think
guys.
it might have been.
That is definitely a podcast. And
So thank you so much, Fiona, for being here.
GG
Did you-
for getting it done in 60
Did
minutes.
you, John?
Yeah.
Did you make a bad pun at the opening of it?
I did not. I decided to drop that because I can't keep thinking of them.
You
Gotta prepare.
You stopped not making the list that you always said you were going to make every week. That's what you mean.
No, I went through the list and I don't have any more.
You know, I'm gone like one podcast and you start making all these decisions that I don't approve of. And
God, the power's gone to our head, guys.
they
the
said
puns better be
JK
back
too
next
many
week.
times in the den today, and I'm just a little bit like foggy.
The pressure for the pun next week is real.
I'll see if I can come up with something, but
Yeah.
we're probably going to be pun-free this week.
You mean we're
Although I
gonna?
could always add it in post.
You mean we're gonna be punished? That's what you mean.
Ah!